Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today I have this really beautiful Magnolia Mother's Day card to share with you. So let's jump right in. So I started out by creating my sentiment, and I had heard that this would work, but I personally had never done it before. So this is kind of me trying this technique, and it is a Spellbinders Better Press plate that I'm actually going to hot foil. So I have my Gemini hot foil machine, and then that plate is the Spellbinders Mother's and Father's Day Sentiments Better Press plate, and we're going to hot foil the sentiments instead. So I'm cutting down my foil. I like to use this little quick trimmer from Spellbinders just because I find I have less foil waste this way, and then I'm just cutting it to size. This is how I use it. I'm sure there's other ways to use this, but this is kind of what I do. I just lay the plate on top and then cut to fit. And I do have my Gemini hot foil machine just heating up beside me there, and then I'm going to put this through my Big Shot. I only own a Big Shot for this. I do have the Switch Plus, but I personally have never run either the Gemini or the hot foil machine. I've never run it or my Better Press through my Switch, mostly just because I'm concerned that I might do it wrong or get my sandwich wrong and damage my Switch. So I still use my Big Shot for this, and I find that it works perfectly for all of the hot foiling or Better Press plates that I've used so far. So I haven't had any issues that way, but I don't know. I haven't been brave enough to try my Switch yet for this, but look at that. They turned out stunningly. So I'm really excited by that. So I'm going to run the matching die set through that cuts all 4 of the sentiments out. So there's 2 that are Father's Day and 2 that are Mother's Day. And I thought that was really cool. So you get 4 sentiments every time you either use the Better Press or the hot foil machine, however you want to actually use this. I love when they create versatile things because it makes it so much easier to use, right? Like, because now I have 4 sentiments that I can use. And I mean, gold on a man's card, do a navy and gold card, and it would look stunning. So I'm pretty excited with how this all came together and turned out. And then we're going to actually get into creating the card and cutting all the foil or the cardstock down. And of course, I am going to matte with a gold cardstock just because that's kind of the color palette I'm going for. You guys know I love white, pink, and gold. It's just one of those things that I just can't get enough of. So I am going that direction. And then I brought in the Honeybee Lovely Layers Magnolia dies. And I'm going to cut the base layer, actually all of the layers for the flower, out of some HammerMill cardstock just because I'm going to blend the colors I want for the actual card flower to be really, really pretty. And I'm sorry if you guys can hear my cats in the background. They have spring fever and they're busting a nut running around here like crazy. So if you can hear them, I've already restarted this voiceover more than once. So we're just going to have to live with it because I need to get this voiceover finished. So I'm so sorry if you can hear them and they're irritating. But yeah, so I cut out the 4 layers of the Magnolia, and then I'm going to cut out the leaves. There's 2 leaves and 2 center pieces. And here you can see this is the background. So this die set was actually done before Honeybee started like drawing where your pieces would be. So I actually drew them myself. So I just used a Sharpie, or I think it was a Copic multiliner, and I drew the lines for where those dies needed to be, just so that lets me know if I'm missing any dies or if any layers are, if I've dropped one and I don't know to look for it because there's so many dies and I didn't know. So I've actually done that with any of my large die sets that have a whole bunch of them so that I could go through and make sure that I didn't lose a die. So I just showed you that real quick on the screen so you guys could think of that tip if you needed it. And then so everything that I'm not going to blend ink on is going to be gold, so I can bring that gold kind of into this card. And I like to have uneven numbers, you guys know this, so I will be cutting 3 leaves instead of 2, just so that I can have 3, like an odd number. And I let the little tail be cut off on that one because I'm going to tuck it behind the flower anyway, so the leaf bit doesn't really matter. And then I changed out my sandwich because I want the background to be this beautiful lace embossing folder. This is stunning, and I don't think that I even do it justice in this video. If you could see it in person, excuse me, it is stunning. Like, it's a Sizzix die, and I'm used to Sizzix. Now, granted, I know Sizzix do other people's brands, not just Tim Holtz, but I'm more familiar with the Tim Holtz side of Sizzix brand, right? Well, apparently, other Sizzix embossing folders come in a huge size. So that was bigger than 5x7. So it is lovely, and it turned out this beautiful background that you guys are going to see here closer up in a minute, but I'm so in love with how that embossing folder looks. So don't be surprised if you see it pop up a bunch of times, just because it's really, really pretty. And then for the coloring of my Magnolia, I chose to go in with Victorian Velvet as the majority of the color, and I will bring in just a touch of Seedless Preserves as well, just to give it a little bit more of a purpley flavor feel. And I do have the Spellbinders Mini Brush set here, just because I wanted the color to be in a very specific area, so I'm trying really hard to keep it just there, and I tend to be heavy-handed. So I'm touching the brush of color down right in the center where I know the other layers will sit and you won't see, so that I don't have to worry about it, being weird circly blobs of color in places that you can see them. So that's kind of what I was thinking there. So a little side note while we color the flower. I don't know if you guys know, because I don't know if you checked out my last video or the live that I did 2 weeks ago now, I guess, or last week. Time's a funny thing for me. I will be doing a new live. I have a couple of times up on my community tab. So if you want to go and check that out and tell me if you're available for that time, or vote for a time so you can come hang out with me, please do. I'd love to see ya. We're going to be making envelopes with the 123 punch board, and likely any dies, because I do own some envelope dies as well. So we will be making we will be making envelopes with the punch board. So if you want to come and hang out and check that out with me, please do. Go vote on a time. I think currently the 13th at 3 p.m. PST is winning, but I mean, we're, a little ways away yet. So I will make sure to announce it by Monday of next week, or it just depends. If you guys are still voting, then I'll leave it alone, but if you're done voting, then I'll lock in whatever the time is, and that's the one we're going to do, and I'll kind of get it set up. But I would love to have you. I can, we had our first live the other day. It was a lot of fun, although I hopefully didn't come across super awkward. It's always a little nerve-wracking trying new things, so hopefully I didn't come across kind of odd, but I would love to have you there. So if you're, free and you want to come hang out, pick the time that we're going to do, and that'll be a lot of fun. And I'm so excited. This is irrelevant to that, but I'm so excited to see what Tim Holtz, the announcement this weekend. I have 3 of the dies in my hands already. I bought 3 and I'm pondering the globe. I didn't buy the globe, but I got the the Matchbox ones. I got the Matchbox one, the film strippy one, and the lacy doily one. I'm sorry, I don't remember the names of them, but those are the 3 that I bought. And then I'm pondering getting the globe one still, but I only bought 3 at the moment. So I cannot wait to see the inspiration he's going to show on Saturday. I'm really, really excited. So that was a side note that had nothing to do with the card or anything else. I just wanted to tell you guys that. But yeah. So now I'm just adhering everything together. You can see how easily the layers go together. This one's super, super easy. I also own the Rose Lovely Layers dies, and I almost busted that one out the other day and then chickened out because I didn't have enough time to figure out all the layers. I will bust it out because it's a beautiful die set. It's a little more intimidating than this one because this one's only 4 layers, so it's really easy to put together. But so I'm going to adhere everything now. And this part, I had to bring my plate back in, my sandwich, just so I could get it to lay flat. Once I had it lined up where I wanted it to be, I just needed it for the corners because they kept trying to lift. Because of course this paper, I did mist it with a little bit of water when I ran it through my 3D embossing folder. So it just didn't really want to lay flat. So that's kind of my trick for that. Just put something a little bit heavy on top and then you don't really have that concern. And then we're just going to really build the card. Like this card didn't take long to put together because I knew what I wanted it to look like. I knew that I wanted that lace background to really be a big part of the card, so I didn't want to add a whole bunch of stuff on top of it. Like I really wanted that lace background to be a part of this card. And so I kind of left it really bare outside of the one magnolia bloom and then some leaves and of course the sentiment. And I did choose to make this a Mother Day, but I mean, this could be happy birthday, happy, thinking of you, whatever, just saying hi, whatever sentiment you want to put here. I think that's really applicable for most of my cards outside of Christmas. Just because, Christmas cards are usually kind of specific, but you could easily change the sentiment of this if you had someone who just loved florals. So I think this card is pretty versatile that way. And I love the flower dies for that purpose. I think that's why I own so many of them, just because I find them to be really easy to use. And then here I kind of laid out how I wanted it to look, and then I just added a little glue. I'm sorry I cut that part out. My head is in the way. You guys actually can't see me put the glue on the flower because my head was in the way. So I just cut that piece out, but that I added some glue to the base of the leaf and then adhered it to the little bloom so that I could have the leaves stick exactly where I wanted them to before I went to adhere the actual bloom to the card. So I love how this card turned out. I think that it turned out stunning. And I have done variations of the Magnolia like this before, you know, pink and gold, just because it's such a beautiful color combo and I love it. But I don't think it ever gets old. And if you're new to my channel, you may have never seen this before. And of course, you could use any floral for this. I just happen to use the Magnolia because I have it and it's stunning. But you could use any floral and it would look really, really beautiful. It was a big show-stopping floral. So I think that it turned out pretty. And of course, I did have to add just a couple of pearls just because I can't stop myself. And I love them. I feel like they just add so much elegance to a card, right? That lacy background and then a little bit of pearl, like beautiful. I love it. So I did have to add those just for a little extra shimmer and shine. But that is the card I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll leave me a like, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do new videos every Monday and Thursday. And as I said, I am going to add some lives to the channel. So if that's something that interests you, please pop back in and let me know, what time works for you. Leave me a comment on that community post and we'll see what we can make work, because I would love to hang out with you guys. I really want to build a community where you feel safe creating and you can ask me questions and we can kind of have a back and forth. So please come back and hang out with me whenever that day is, probably April 13th, but might be 11th or 12th. So thank you so much, guys, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.